Hey everybody, here's part 2 of our serialism explanation. So we just discussed about how to take this primary row here and manipulate it in any number of ways, but it really takes a long time to do it by hand like that. So something that we use, and the composer uses probably too, to manipulate this row is called a matrix. Okay? And a matrix looks like this. Okay? It's a big 12 by 12. It's supposed to be square. Mine's a rectangle because I like to leave a little bit of extra room to write in there, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. But essentially, it's a 12 by 12 grid, and we use this to very easily manipulate and transpose these rows. This piece of paper right here is on D2L. It looks exactly like this, and you can print off as many copies as you want and make matrices all day long, and I encourage you to do so. If you don't have a printer, though, you can easily just draw a 12 by 12 grid on a piece of paper, and that works just fine. So, how do we do this? The first thing we do is take that prime row and write it across the top of the matrix. Okay, so if you remember from this piece of music here, okay, here was our prime row right here in the front, and we wrote it down right here. Okay, so I'm going to take this same prime row, I'm going to write it right across the top right here. So I have G sharp, A, G, F, B, E, D, E flat, B flat, D flat, C, and F sharp. Okay. On this piece that is on D2L, this piece of paper, I already have some labels on there just to help you out a little bit. So you can see how I have P0 with an arrow going this way. There's P0. And we already have R0. The arrow's going this way. So start from this direction, you have R0. Again, the 0 means it has not been transposed at all. It's in its prime form, prime pitch level, I should say. Okay? So, the first thing we need to do is assign numbers to the top here. So essentially what we're doing is we're going to say what is the interval away from the first note there. Okay, so if the first note is 0, okay, again this is pretty familiar from atonal set theory, call the first note 0 and then label the intervals away from that. So G sharp to A would be 1, okay, G sharp to G would be 11, G sharp to F would be 9, okay, etc. And you could keep going that way. Something that I personally find a little bit easier, and what I do when I do this, is I just go up chromatically and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So I would start on A and say that's 1, okay? Up 1 from A would be B flat. So I'm going to say that's 2, okay? Up 1 from B flat would be B natural, that's 3, okay? The next one would be C, there's 4, okay? Next would be D flat, there's 5, okay? D natural would be 6, and then E flat would be 7, E natural would be 8, F would be 9, let's see, F sharp would be 10, and G would be 11, okay? I find that a little bit easier than having to think through each one, but essentially that is what we just did. Each one of these is labeling the interval away from this first note, right? Okay, so imagine this is like one big atonal set. Right? There's your set. You can put brackets around it. There's your set. Alright, so to invert this, we are going to go from the top to bottom here, okay? And just think of the way inversions work. Remember that they're always going to add up to 12 because that's the octave, right? So essentially, right here, if 1 is here, right across the way, you want to put what adds up to 1 to add up to 12, right? 11. Okay, so I'm going to put an 11 right here. Okay, the next one is going to line up with this one. 11 plus what is 12? 1. Okay, next, I have a 9. 9 plus what is 12? 3. Put a 3 right there. Okay, next, 3 plus what is 12? 9. We had our little pairs right there next to each other this time. Okay, next is 8. 8 plus what is 12? That's a 4. Okay. 6 plus what is 12 is 6, remember? That inverts to itself. Okay. 7 plus what is 12? 5. 2 plus what is 12? 10. Okay. 5 adds up to 12 with a 7. Okay. 4 plus 8 is 12. Put an 8 down there. And then, of course, 10 plus 2. Okay. Remember those inversion pairs, it's the same ones we've been using since Theory 1. What half steps add up to what? To add up to 12, right? Okay, then you put whatever letter name or pitch class label is associated with that number for this particular one. So here, 11 is with G, so put a G there. Okay? 1 is with A, so put an A here. 3 is with B, so put a B right here. 9 is with F, so put an F there. Here we have a 4, and that is C, so put a C here. 6 is D. 5 is D flat. 10 is F sharp. 7 is E flat. 8, there it is E. And 2, there it is B flat. Okay? And there's your inversion. Okay, let's see if we got the same thing that we did just a second ago. G sharp, G, A, B, F, C, D, D flat, F sharp, E flat, E, B flat. Yes, we did. Okay? Very easy way to do that. And, therefore, you already have your retrograde inversion. You play it from here up. And there's RI0. Okay? So you have your main rows here. Now, to transpose it, it's a little bit trickier, but once you get it, the hardest part is making sure you don't accidentally start writing in the wrong row. So a lot of people like to maybe use like a sheet of paper to kind of keep them on the right row while they're writing, that kind of thing. Whatever helps you. So, essentially, where the numbers intersect, we're going to add them up. And that's what's going to go in that box. Okay? For instance, let's just do this row right here. Let's transpose this whole row here up by 11 half steps. That's what this means. So we're going to move everything up by 11. Not just this, but all of these. Okay? So right here, 11 plus 1, you come down here, and that's 12. Okay? But remember, we're only going up through 11. 0 counts as a number, so instead of 12, we'll put a 0 right there. Okay? Don't worry about the letter name just yet. Let's just do some numbers. Okay? Then the next, right here, we have an 11 plus an 11. Okay? That's 22. Now, just like compound intervals, we want to keep this simple. So just like compound intervals, making them into simple, just subtract 12 from it. Subtract the octave. So 11 plus 11 is 22. 22 minus 12 is 10. So that's a 10 right there. Okay? Then we have 9 plus 11, that's 20. That's more than 12, so subtract 12. 20 minus 12 is 8. Okay? Then 11 plus 3, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 minus 12 is 2. Okay? 11 plus 8 is going to be 19. 19 minus 12 is 7. Okay? 11 plus 6 is 17. 17 minus 12 is 5. 11 plus 7 is 18. 18 minus 12 is 6. 11 plus 2 is 13. 13 minus 12 is 1. 11 plus 5 is 16. 16 minus 12 is 4. 11 plus 4 is 15. 15 minus 12 is 3. And 11 plus 10 is 21. 21 minus 12 is 9. Okay? Now look through here and notice that we did not repeat any of these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? And that's really, really important. Just like Sudoku, okay? You don't repeat any numbers. So if you have like 2 7s on the same row, you did something wrong. You did some math wrong. So you can put your numbers there, and then I like to do all the numbers first, and then go back through and put my letter names that go with it. Okay, so 0 in this case is going to be a G sharp. Okay, 10 is going to be, that's F sharp. Okay, so you go by these numbers right on the top. 8 is going to be an E. 2 is going to be a B flat. 7 is going to be E flat. 5 is going to be D flat. 6 is D. 1 is A. 4 is C. 3 is B. And 9 is F. Okay? And we just transpose that entire row by 11 half steps. And you could keep going through here and doing each row one at a time like that. Some people like to go up and down, right? We could do this vertically too. It doesn't matter. You could just do them randomly if you really wanted to. It matters where they intersect on this matrix, right? So let's do this vertical row here, okay? Let's do 1 and 1. That adds up to 2, so that's a 2. 1s are easy. This will be good. Okay. Then 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 plus 5 is 6. 1 plus 10 is 11. 1 plus 7 is 8. 1 plus 8 is 9. And 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay? And then you can put those numbers in, or letter names, excuse me. So 2 is a B flat. 4 is C. 10 is F sharp. Here we have 5, and that's going to be D flat. 7 is E flat. 6 is D. 11 is G. 8 is E. 9 is F. And 3 is B. Okay? And there we have just transposed the inversion, etc., by 1/2 step. Okay? So we can go through and do this whole thing in any order. I personally, like I said, prefer to do numbers first, and in fact, I prefer to do numbers for the entire thing first. Okay, so that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to go ahead and just fill this out right here, and you can just watch. So 1 plus, that's 0, 10, 4, so I'm adding 1 to each one of these. 8, 7, 8, 3, 6, 5, 11. And something you can do too, if you want to pause the video and try to do it yourself, and then come back and watch it and see if you got the same thing I did. Okay, 11 plus 3 is 14, so it's going to be a 2. Okay, 9 plus 3 is a 0. It's 12, it's 0. 3 plus 3 is 6. 8 plus 3 is 11. 6 plus 3 is 9. 7 plus 3 is 10. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 plus 3 is 7. 10 plus 3 is 13, which is a 1. Okay. Now, I'm getting kind of close to this video cutting off, so I'm going to stop it right here. Finish this grid on your own, and when we come back, we will discuss more about it.